Episode 1 of the Åre Murders kicks off with a wild party at Ebba Nimi's house on a cold winter night. The place is packed with teenagers, drinks are flowing, and music is blasting. It's the kind of night where anything could happen. And for Ebba's best friend, Amanda Halvorsen, something definitely does. Amid the chaos, Amanda exchanges a strange look with Ebba. Then she sneaks off to call her father Harold. But he doesn't pick up. He's a little preoccupied, hooking up with his married lover, Mira Berg, in a car. Amanda leaves a voicemail, and as she pulls on her jacket, she gets a call from a mysterious number. We don't hear the conversation, but whatever is said convinces her to step outside, dragging her e-bike along the empty road. Suddenly, a car honks, and though we see her approach it, we don't know who's behind the wheel. Cut to another scene. Hanna Ahlander is on the phone with her sister Lisa while driving. She's reeling from a rough breakup. Her boyfriend threw her out of their apartment. Lisa urges her to clear her head, spend time at the cabin she loaned her, and try to move on. We see Hanna stop at a gas station, ignore a call from her ex, and eventually arrive at the cabin, where she pours herself a much-needed glass of wine. The next morning coincides with Lucia Day, a Swedish tradition that marks the triumph of light over winter darkness. But for Amanda's family, the day begins with worry. Her mother Lena is busy getting her younger kids ready when she notices something's off. Amanda isn't in her room. Lena assumes she might have crashed at Ebba's house, and Harold, still half asleep, is not particularly concerned. Minutes later, Mira shows up. She's there to return Harold's phone, claiming he left it at work. But we know that's a lie. While Lena is distracted, Mira quietly tells Harold that her husband Frederick found the phone in her car last night. She's worried and wants to end things, but Harold insists they just need to be more careful. Their conversation is cut short when Lena returns with more bad news. The family dog Luda has run off. As Mira hurries out, Harold checks his phone and sees Amanda's missed call. Lena heads to the local church for a candlelight procession celebrating Lucia Day. She texts Amanda, but there's no response. Over at the cabin, a new day dawns for Hanna. She heads into town, but gets stuck between a snow sweeper and a police car. The officer notices she's not local and asks for her ID. Hanna flashes her Stockholm PD badge and he waves her through. Meanwhile, Harold stops by Ebba's house, trying to track down Amanda. But Ebba tells him Amanda is not there. She left sometime last night, destination unknown. Ebba mentions a name, Victor, suggesting Amanda might have gone to see him, but neither of her parents has ever heard of this guy. Now, Harold is officially worried and asks Ebba to keep him posted. When he gets home, he finds out Lena has already called the police. Detectives Daniel Lindskog and Anton Lundgren take the case. Daniel isn't panicking yet. Teenagers go missing all the time and often resurface within a day or two. But with the brutal cold, they're not taking any chances. They issued an APB on Amanda. Harold updates the detectives. Amanda left the party last night. Her e-bike is missing, and the name Victor has come up, though Lena insists her daughter doesn't have a boyfriend. Then Harold plays Amanda's voicemail, where she asks Harold to pick her up, not wanting to call her mother. Daniel and Anton set up a search with Mountain Rescue. Anton asks for a piece of Amanda's clothing for the search dogs, and Lena, visibly shaken, retrieves it, pausing to inhale her daughter's scent. At home, Ebba watches from the window as search dogs and a helicopter comb the area for Amanda. She looks deeply shaken, as if she knows more than she's saying. Meanwhile, at her cabin, Hanna is scrolling Instagram. But first, if you're enjoying this recap, please remember to subscribe to our channel. That really helps us a lot. Meanwhile, at her cabin, Hanna is scrolling Instagram, checking out her ex-boyfriend's new relationship. Bitter, she drops a snarky comment before her screen lights up with an Amber Alert. 17-year-old Amanda Halvorsen is missing. Even though her sister warns her not to get involved, Hanna can't resist and volunteers to help with the search. She drives over, gears up with a vest and stick, and joins the briefing. The search quickly turns up something big, Amanda's e-bike, hidden behind a barn. Some kids from her class stumbled upon it, and her teacher, Lasse Sandahl, recognized it immediately. It looks deliberately placed there. Someone wanted it out of sight. During the search, Hanna chats with another volunteer, who drops an interesting tidbit. Amanda is known for being sweet but has terrible taste in guys. This girl knows what she's talking about, because she also dated Victor, Amanda's supposed boyfriend. As night falls, the search is called off. It's too risky to continue in the darkness. Lena is furious. She doesn't understand why they're stopping when her daughter is still missing. Hanna finds Daniel before he leaves, dropping some key intel. Victor's last name is Malm, and he's a seasonal worker with a history, including an assault warning. Hanna even managed to get his previous rental address. Daniel and Anton drive off to check it out. That night, Hanna officially joins the investigation. She tells the lieutenant in charge that she's on a leave of absence from Stockholm PD, but wants to help. With the team short-staffed, the lieutenant immediately accepts her offer. Later, Daniel heads home to his wife Ida and their newborn daughter Alice, struggling to balance his personal life with the horror of a missing child case. Meanwhile, Hanna arrives back at her sister's cabin and encounters a strange cleaning lady named Zura, a brief, eerie moment that adds yet another layer of mystery. At the same time, Ebba lies in bed, clearly shaken and depressed, while Lena relentlessly searches for Amanda despite the encroaching darkness. Elsewhere, Mira returns home to find her husband Frederick watching the police press conference about Amanda's disappearance. He makes an ominous comment, suggesting Harold might not be coming to work anytime soon. The look on Myra's face is pure dread. At the Halvorsons, Amanda's younger brother sets out to find the family dog, but his search ends in heartbreak when he discovers Luda, cold and unresponsive in the snow. Meanwhile, the investigation zeroes in on Victor Malm. Daniel notes that Amanda's phone last pinged at 2:14 a.m., but Victor's phone has been active in a place called Saston for days. Anton, familiar with the area, mentions an abandoned cabin there. The police head over, find Victor inside with another girl, and when pressed, he simply claims he doesn't know where Amanda is. The episode builds to a gut-punch finale. We see Harold carrying Luda's lifeless body into the garage. Then, we cut to a ski lift operator arriving for his morning shift. He powers up the lift and grabs some breakfast as the chairs start moving. When he looks up, something catches his attention. Lying on one of the lift chairs is Amanda Halvorson's frozen body. And that's it for episode 1 of the Åre Murders, a Nordic noir thriller that wastes no time pulling us into its dark, twisty mystery. Please remember to subscribe and stay tuned for the next recap of another new wonderful show.